In Shadowrun 5th edition, you're bound to end up with a lock standing between you and your Nuyen. Sure, you can have your team's Decker or Technomancer try to hack it open, but what if they're too busy fighting off black ice, or getting a bit too close to getting noticed by God to do it for you? Or maybe the lock isn't wirelessly enabled. In these situations, you'd better hope you learned the rules for bypassing locks. The main skill you'll need to bypass a lock, whether it's the old-fashioned mechanical kind or a state-of-the-art high-end mag lock with anti-tamper circuits, is locksmithing. If you're dealing with a mag lock, you'll also need a hardware skill. Let's start with the simplest lock to deal with, mechanical locks. They haven't gone out of style in the 6th world because they're inexpensive and immune to technomancers. They're also pretty easy to bypass as long as you have a little bit of time. To pick a mechanical lock, make a locksmith plus agility test. This is an extended test, and your threshold is the lock's rating, and each test takes a full combat turn. If you brought along an auto picker, you can add its rating to your limit, and to your dice pool if you enable its wireless capabilities. Or you can let the auto picker do the job for you, in which case it uses double its rating in place of your skill test. Most mechanical locks are only going to slow you down by 1 combat turn. Bypassing a mag lock is a 2 to 4 step process. Let's go through it. Step number 1, remove the outer case. You need to make an extended locksmith plus agility test with a threshold of double the mag lock's rating. Each test takes a full combat turn. Now you can try smashing the case off. It only has a barrier rating equal to the mag lock's rating, but you also stand a very good chance of breaking the lock itself. And therein lies an important note. Mag locks remain in their current state when they lose power, go offline, or are broken. You'll have better luck busting a hole in the wall or door than you will breaking a mag lock open. Step number 2, which is an optional step, bypass the anti-tamper circuit. Make a locksmith plus agility test and pray to Big D's ghost that you get as many or more hits as the rating of the anti-tamper system. Otherwise, alarms go off. Guards with shotguns will show up and your black trench coat gets a whole lot more holes put through it. Step number 3, rewire the maglock's electronic guts. This is a necessary step and cannot be optional. This takes another locksmith plus agility test, just like the one required to open the case. It's an extended test with maglock rating times 2 hits required, and 1 combat turn per test. The 4th and final step is another optional step. If you want to make it look like nobody messed with the maglock, you can always put the case back on when you're done. This takes another locksmith plus agility extended test with the exact same time required and threshold as it took to put it on. One final thing. Some maglocks use a transponder embedded key that completes a circuit in the lock. If you encounter one of these, someone's going to have to use an electronics kit to make a hardware plus logic skill test. Now this is an extended test with a time requirement of 1 minute per test and a threshold equal to the lock's rating. This must be accomplished while the lock is being picked. If you have to do this part yourself with no help while you pick the lock, you suffer a -2 die penalty to this test and your test to pick the lock. You better find some help for this one. Thanks for watching. Tell me what you'd like me to do a video on next, and if you liked this video, please consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/complexaction. Our patrons help to support the videos we make here, and in return get access to thank you rewards. Everything here is made possible by the generous support of our patrons, and thanks again for watching.